All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Annice Garza, and I am the Curriculum Coordinator for Los Fresnos Independent School District. And I'm here today to speak to you a little bit about coordinated school health and how it's catching on in Los Fresnos. So we're going to talk about, we can switch slides here. Give you a little overview of what Los Fresnos and what we're all about. First of all, we have 9 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, with a population of about 7,500 students. We are predominantly Hispanic, covering 95% of our population is Hispanic. As you probably know, children who are Hispanic or economically disadvantaged have a higher rate of physical inactivity, poor nutrition, obesity, compared to white children and children who come from affluent families. So in addition to that, 76% of our children are economically disadvantaged where they qualify for free reduced lunch. And our entire school population is about 10,883 students. So again, we're ranked among leaders in academics. We cover 887 square miles, which includes a lot of rural area. But we only have like 8 traffic lights and 6 intersections. But we have more probably students in our schools than we do in the city of Los Fresnos. So that's a little bit about Los Fresnos. Now I want to talk to you a little bit about how we are getting started with CATCH. How did we get started? First thing we did was we secured district level approvals, and starting with the superintendent first. So we had a little conversation with our superintendent and our executive director, and we spoke to them how 10 years ago we started the program and were not very effective, and our teachers were really wanting something new, and we knew that we didn't have a coordinated school health program, so we knew we needed to do something about it. CATCH came along, and it was fabulous and a blessing to meet Peter and to get this started. From there, though, we did have to go to board approval, and then we also had to meet with our SHAC committee. After that, we started the building the support, and that was talking to principals, went to leadership meetings and presented the information that was shared by Peter about the foundation and about the curriculum and how the program worked. So then we had to talk, okay, what are the expenses involved with this? So we partnered with CATCH Global Foundation, where they were able to award us a 1-year grant that was funded by Blue Cross Blue Shield. And so it allowed us to implement CATCH in our 9 elementary schools and 3 middle schools, so a total of 12 schools. So that's kind of how we just got started. After that, we had to go to administrative support. So that would be our next slide. And with administrative support, it started also just developing an understanding amongst our stakeholders. And our stakeholders included our superintendent, our executive directors, our leadership team, our SHAC committee, which involved parents, and just spreading that word and deciding, okay, this is a vision and this is a focus. So then we started promoting the program in different clusters and different departments within our district, starting with health services. So we met with all the nurses, and Peter was able to come and share information with us as well. And then we went with child nutrition workers, and we did stuff with them, presented the information with them as well. And then, of course, teachers and students, and mainly champions. We started with the champions and selected the champions and just getting them to spread the word. And then they themselves went to their campuses and did staff development and did their own meetings with their campus. And then they had assemblies where they did it with the students and made the awareness. We ourselves were very fortunate to get plenty of support through staff development. We had CATCH come down and just do presentations and training for our teachers. And then we also tried to partner with our local community health service worker. So that's how we started with all this administrative support. So it was lots of just talking. Then we decided on our next slide that we had to build based on how the CATCH program works and learning the coordination kits. We knew that we had to build a team, and that team consisted of PE teachers, food service administrators, and classroom teachers. For us, we required those as non-negotiables. All the others were optional, but highly encouraged. So we talked about parents and nurses and counselors and anybody from the community that would be willing to help. So there you'll see some pictures of some of the different things that we have, and you're welcome to ask me questions about any of those events. All right, I think we're ready for the next slide. So how do we know it's working? Well, if you look around, just take a look at our schools. If you start from the very top, that is the little girl pointing to the poster, Food Facts. That is in one of our elementary schools where they're posting all the signage at eye level for students who are younger so they can have easy access to what it is that they're looking at. We had door decorating contests where teachers were decorating their doors and just really trying to promote what we were doing on each campus and really trying to change the environment. You see teachers getting caught eating healthy and pictures taken and posted on bulletin boards. We have bulletin boards that are demonstrating the go slow and low foods. We have signs outside the school. Every marquee you'll see who is the CATCH MVP. You will see when their CATCH events are being hosted. We have teachers writing in the classroom. We are partnering with people like Bike Texas who are able to donate several bikes that were going to Villarreal Elementary. You see on the bottom, they a very rural, highly economically disadvantaged school where students received some very nice surprises in bikes. So that's what it looks like on our schools. Just to give you a little data on our next slide, it'll show how are we increasing the MVPA during our PE classes. A nice overall picture, you'll just see that we have a 29% increase in physical activity level in our all students. At elementary, it's a slight high, it's a bit higher, but better. Higher is always better. In middle school, we took a huge increase, which we are just so proud about. At the bottom of that page, that is a small portion of one of our events where the children and families, they walked together. They walked a mile or jogged a mile together. And every single person who was there got a medal. Didn't matter what place you were in. You were there, you got rewarded for being there. On our next slide, we see the percent of students who have a healthy BMI increase all across the board, both elementary and middle school, 27% increase in students' healthy BMI, something we're very proud about. As you can see at the bottom, those are some of our teachers and child nutrition workers who were displaying the different types of foods they should be eating as far as the fruit is concerned. And the last slide is just we're moving forward. At this point, yes, there are challenges between, how do you support a coordinated school health program versus all the testing that's going on. And it's just lots of planning. And one of the other challenges we face is the common planning, where our child nutrition services weren't always able to meet at the same time. Some of the lessons we learned is we probably should have studied our coordination kit a little bit better. Everything that we need is in that kit, and it just makes your life so much easier. And then not realizing that we had a community health worker that could also help us. Sustaining CATCH, what we had to do was what are our goals and needs for our district, which is to maintain the program. We conducted a needs assessment to see, okay, who are our people that need a little bit more reinforcement and help. How do we identify our resources? It was really down to, we didn't have the grant again this following year, but we did want to make sure that we maintained what it was that we were doing because it was so successful. So we managed to get some more funding, and we're able to support our champion stipend. However, we do not have money for wellness events, but we have parental involvement money that has been set aside from each campus that they are using to host their events. And then it was a lot of team collaboration. We continue to meet, we continue to align a curriculum, we continue to promote it all over the campuses. So that's a little bit about what's catching on in Los Fresnos.